Hello there, John here. I thought I'd put together some action cam footage to show how I catch smaller, more difficult eddies and control my position in larger ones by using a bit of trim. If you're looking for the basics of how to break out, it might be worth looking up another video. We'll be skimming over the basics and a simpler method might be easier to start with. So let's start by taking a look at an eddy. Here's a nice eddy. We've got the ripply water of the main flow where we are, the still water of the eddy where the other paddler and that white foam has gathered, and between the two we have the eddy line. The eddy line is confused water. There's all sorts of complicated things going on, with whirlpools and boils, and changes in the speed of flow as we approach. But all we really need to know is that it gets wider and less defined the further downstream we get, and we don't want to be involved in its confusion. So we're going to cross it as high up as we can, where it's narrow and defined, at as close to 90 degrees as we can manage, and as quickly as possible. Don't worry about hitting a small eddy too fast, we'll deal with that speed in the eddy. So let's take a look at a breakout with added trim. There we go, looks nice and easy. Let's pop back upstream. I've started this clip further back because this is where a successful breakout begins. Once we've decided to break out, we prepare as early as we can, get ourselves online, focus on the top of the eddy where we want our bow to end up, and drive our boat towards it, avoiding any strokes that might reduce or kill our speed. So avoid reverse sweeps, back paddling, or heavily applied rudders. So we head towards the eddy, building speed. I've hit this eddy several times already today, so I'm a little distracted, but focus on where you want your bow to end up. The last stroke before the eddy line is important for any eddy, and in hard to hit eddies it may be the only stroke we get. It's our last chance to adjust our angle and speed into the eddy, but we'll do more with it. To increase momentum into the eddy, we thrust the boat forward with our knees and hips. This moves our weight back in the seat, which lifts the bow over all that confused water of the eddy line. That stroke's already taken us halfway across the eddy line, and the boat is about to turn dramatically. So just like on a bicycle, we lean into the turn. This lifts the outside edge, preventing it from tripping in the still water of the eddy and throwing us out of the boat. With that outside edge protected from tripping, we get off the seat, throwing our weight forward onto our knees, to plant the bow as heavily as we can into the still water of the eddy. This will stop it, killing all that speed, but it also lifts the stern, releasing it from the water and unleashing its momentum to swing around behind us. Finishing it all off with a little forward paddling to make sure we've established ourselves properly in the eddy. That's job done. A safe, easy, quick breakout. Now you may have noticed I didn't mention that paddle stroke I planted in the eddy, and there's a good reason for that. It's not as important as it looked. It's just a big blade full of water that helps to stop the bow and reduce any sideways slip. But the most important thing is, it helps us to keep our balance as we throw our weight forward and into the turn. So that's a breakout suitable for small, difficult eddies, or when we want to end up close to the eddy line. But this same technique allows us to control our position in larger eddies. So let's leave this one and head to the next. Again, we focus on the bit of the eddy where we want our bow to end up. The water's going to provide most of the speed for this one, so we just get ourselves online, and a good last stroke lifts the bow over the confused water of the eddy line. We lean into the turn, but keep our weight back to delay it, before throwing our weight forward to end up exactly where we want to be. Now the further into an eddy we go, the more downstream momentum you lose. and the less snappy the swing of the stern will be. It takes a little practice and feel for your boat to know when to apply that forward trim. But once you've got the hang of it, you can gradually apply the weight shift, starting the swing early but controlling it, holding back for a wide arc and leaning forward to tighten and complete the turn. And that's breaking out with added trim. So if you've learnt to break out with a method like speed, angle and edge, have a play with adding trim to it. But because my brain is a small and confused thing, on the water I think of two things: attack and throw. Attack the eddy line with as much speed as you can, then throw your weight forward into the front inside corner of the boat. So we'll finish off with some more examples and how that attack throw thing works. So we attack the eddy line and throw. Attack the eddy line and throw. And finally, to end up deeper in an eddy, attack, delay, then throw. And there we are. Not the only way to break out, maybe not the best way, but something to play with next time you're out. I hope it's been helpful. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.